Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. And why have I got the haunted LaFerrari up? Why is it haunted? This is the reason. They shouldn't do that, but they do that. But today, I've been sent something by Ian over at Partwork Upgrades. We have got a power mod for all models. Now, I call it a mod, but I don't think it's really a mod. This is basically a replacement sort of solution for you if you don't want to use batteries in your vehicle. You've already completed it. You also don't want to take it apart. So I'm going to show you today exactly how this works. The following modification is undertaken at your own risk. Completion of said modification may irreversibly damage your component. If you're in any doubt, do not try this at home. By failing to do this modification correctly, you stand a good chance of destroying your model. Model companies are not obliged to replace your failed modification. Remember, I make mistakes, so you don't have to. So what you saw me holding here is a power bank, and basically this is going to make your power solution portable, and I'm going to talk about this at the end. We don't need this at the moment, so I can put that to one side, but we do have a whole box of stuff here which I'm going to go through just to explain what it does. Now, all the instructions and everything do come on these sheets here, which basically tell you exactly what you get in the box and the different configurations of how you can use it. Now, there is a QR code you can scan there as well. There is some warnings on this as well. You saw me put a warning at the start of this stream on, and I'm going to tell you about those before we plug things in as well. But this is the most important warning on the whole thing. Ensure to check the output DC voltage before switching on power to your build, because if you do get this wrong, there's a good chance you're going to blow your model up, which you don't want to do. Now, this sheet here is explaining how to use the power bank, but as I said, we'll go into that at the end. And the way this power bank works is by replacing the batteries that you've put into the vehicle. So we've got AA batteries, which look like this. As you can see, this special battery here has a lead that comes off of it into a DC plug here. So that's an AA battery, and its partner, if we need it, is a AAA battery, which is a smaller one here. And again, this one has got a switch on it, but again, it does go into a DC plug like that. In this bag here, we've got an extension lead for those DC plugs, so we can actually reach this to either an AC power adapter or the power bank. I'm going to show you how that works afterwards, and as you can see, you've got a female and a male end. If you have finished your model and you don't want to use the battery solution, you can always plug one of these in, and basically what you've got here is a JST lead, a large plug, and a JST small plug. Now, most models use these plugs, and I can demonstrate that for you by bringing over one of our model's power packs here. And as you can see, we've got 3 AAA batteries in this, and we've got a 1.25 JST lead in there. So if I wanted to swap this out from a battery pack, I could replace this whole thing by using this lead. As you can see, same connection. And then what will happen is I can actually trace this through the model, so I can actually put this onto the outside. That's if I haven't finished the model. If I have finished the model, I could use this technique, but with AAA batteries. I'm going to show that in a second as well, just to show you on a circuit board, for this to go in, if this was powering this, and I think this one was on port A here, I'd plug that in rather than the battery box. And then I can provide power through this to the circuit board. Now, the way I use the battery eliminator, let me just take these out, because these are the batteries that make it work. What I'm going to do is grab one of these special batteries. This is a AAA battery, and I need to put this in the right polarity so it goes exactly like a normal battery would into there, just like that. Now, in itself, that won't work because you need these 2 batteries in to complete the circuit. As you can see how this is wired here. So I need some dummy batteries to put in that will carry the circuit around. Now, for that reason, we have these dummy batteries. Now, these are very lightweight. They feel hollow, but they will conduct through each one. So what we'll do is we put these dummy batteries in here. How many dummies do we get? Well, as you see, I'll put 2 in there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it 7? I've got 7 there. So you get a lot. Now, it's exactly the same with the AA batteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they're just used exactly the same way.
Now, this is the point where I'm going to tell you, make sure you know what voltage is coming out of this JST plug here. Just because it's got 3 batteries in it, which you think would be 1.5 volts for each battery, that makes 4.5 volts, doesn't mean 4.5 volts is coming out the other end. My recommendation is check on the Partwork Upgrade site what your model actually takes. Alternatively, use a voltmeter. Now, I do have voltmeter, multimeter, whatever you want to call them here, because I'm using that to demonstrate exactly how this works. But we do get, as part of this kit, this AC battery charger, which has got, if you look on the top camera here, a voltage indicator. And at the moment, 3 volts are going to come out of this. So I'm going to plug this in at 3 volts at the moment. Now that's all plugged in, and I need to plug this end here into this. But look, we've got 2 male ends. We actually need to have 2 female ends so I can plug this in. And that's what this adapter, which comes in the kit, is for. So I'll put one side in there, and I'm going to put one side in there. And what I want to do then is I want to check the voltage should be 3 volts coming out of this. Now I'm going to make sure it's turned on. And then as you can see there, 3.3 volts is coming out of this, roughly 3 volts. That's absolutely fine. So we know that works. If I just unplug this again, and let's say this model, because it has got 3 batteries, is actually 4.5 volts. What I'm going to do is get a flat end screwdriver, and I'm going to then turn this to the nearest one. And we do have a setting for 4.5 volts there. Boom, click that on. So now when I plug this in, and I'm going to check the terminals here. As you can see, I've now got roughly 4.7 volts coming out of this, which is more than ample to power most things. But you do need to check, because if you have this set wrong and this goes all the way up to 12 volts, you're going to blow your model up. So make sure that this is set to the volume of your model. Now we also get in the box all different sorts of DC adapters here, should we need them. I don't think I'm going to need them, to be honest with you, but I'm going to keep them anyway as spares. But I'm hoping that's gave an idea of how you can actually use the battery eliminator, and also how you can use these if you're actually building the model, which means you wouldn't have to use the batteries at all, because you can actually just trace this to where you need to trace it on a vehicle, and then you can plug this adapter into it to provide direct power to the circuit board. Okay, let me bring back our old friend, the LaFerrari. Once again, I'm going to show you it working. Okay. Now I've turned the LaFerrari over, and as you can see, the battery box is just here. So what I need to do is just take the screw out of this to expose the batteries. So you think this might be a little bit difficult, but it's not. Because these are all connected, it doesn't matter where I put this battery. I'll put it down here for now, and that's just the special battery. But I have made sure that my AC power is set to 6 volts. I've got 4 batteries all linked in serial at 1.5 volts. That equals 6 volts. So as you can see, that's what it's set for. So let's plug this in. Now it's entirely up to you how you trace this cable through. You can have it coming out the end like I have there. You could drill a hole in this. Either way, if you had a official power mod that you plug in, you're going to have a lead coming out the car. But there you go. That's all in. Let's see if this works. So as you can see, that's now working on normal power, not battery power. That's it. That's how you make a battery powered mod into a wall powered mod. And once again, if you need to extend that lead to get it to a wall socket, that's what this cable here is for. If you don't want to use a wall socket though, and you don't want to use a wire tether to plug it in the wall, you can use the portable power bank. Now this comes with the kit, and I have to stress, it takes 8 18650 batteries, which look like this. These do not come with the kit. The reason they don't come with the kit is because you can't really post lithium batteries, obviously overseas, definitely not, but they're very hard to get hold of. You need to get these, a bit like what we did with the R2D2 model. Now these ones here, as you see, they haven't got a button top, they're flat either side here. These are 3,300 milliamps, and they look just like that. These are unprotected as well. So let me get these open, And while I do that, I will reiterate the 1865 batteries do not come with this kit. You need to buy them separately. And it's just a case of putting all these batteries into here. As you can see, we do have a screwdriver and some screws to actually screw this back together, but we need to make sure the polarities are right. So all the negatives are on this side, all the positives are that side, so we've just got to match that to the negative and positive of the batteries. So let's get all 8 of these into place. Okay, they're all in. Put this on top. I'm going to screw this down. So hopefully you can see that. We do get a display in this. At the moment it says DC 55 5 volts. When I long press the button on the side here, that's going to change from DC to USB. USB is what I need when I'm charging it. And that's what this cable here is for. Let me get this out. This is a USB to USB-C adapter. Now I actually already have one of these, a longer one here just for demonstration, but it's the same cable here. And all I'm going to do is plug that into the port at the end while it's in that USB mode, and this will now start charging this power bank. And I don't know if you can see that, it's going to be flashing as it charges. Once we've got this fully charged, I can just take that out. Press this button just again to see what mode we're in, USB. I now want to power the model up. So basically I keep a long press on this and turn it to DC mode, which looks just like that. Now as you can see there, it's set to 5 volts there, but when I do a short tap on this, it changes. 6 volts, 7 volts, 8 volts, 9 volts, 10 volts, 11 volts, 12 volts. And then it cycles back to 5 volts again. When I need 6 volts, make sure this is on 6 volts. If you don't, again, you're going to blow your model up. You don't want to do that. This time I am going to use this extension lead here. And I'm going to plug it into one of the adapters on here. Depending on what size your adapter is, you do have those other different size adapters, because this one's for a smaller output here. But this one's going to fit in, no problems, just onto that one there. So I've got power coming out at 6 volts. Let's plug this into the LaFerrari. So let's just show you what we've got here. There is the LaFerrari going into the extension lead here, which goes around here into the power bank, which is set to 6 volts. Going to use the instructions here. It's already been turned on. Let's try the horn first. That's working. Let's try the doors. And they're working as well. No problems whatsoever. And that is how you can make your wall-powered mod, if you like, into a portable mod. And there you go. That's pretty much all you need to do. The only other thing that I would recommend is it does come with some stickers here, which has got different voltages on, which you can stick either on the plug or next to the port on your model, so you're reminded about what voltage that model uses. Absolutely brilliant mod. You can use it, as I said, in a wall socket or portable, but you do need to ensure, which I've lost now, that you are using the correct voltage coming out of this to go into the model. But it is a solution if you do want to keep this always on, or if you're doing a model show and you've got it portable and you don't want to waste batteries all day, you can actually get this plugged in. This is available through Partwork Upgrades at the moment. I have put a link in the video description. You've also got that QR code on the screen. But I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.